Hey, I'd like to thank everybody out there for making my last video my most successful ever. It's because of you guys. I'm doing this for the love for you guys. Norb sulver-aged, please like and subscribe to this channel. So now, this is kudos kind of to David Letterman. He did his top 10 list. So I decided, let's do a top 10 list of what Trekkies dislike about Starfleet Academy's first 5 episodes. And you can see the teaser I gave you guys. But as you can see, you can't read everything that's on that list. It goes 10 to 0 on a countdown basis. But if you really blow everything up, the little lines are actually tiny font. You can take a look at. Hey, anyway, so let's dive in. So, number 10, introduce a villain, tell a story, then drop him. I'm talking about, the villain we saw the first episode. We have heard nothing about him since. Dueling, number 9, Dueling pranking Chancelors. Is that professional? No. Is that Starfleet Academy thing? No. I mean, I can see rivals between schools, but number 9. Number 8, writing too many shortcuts, guys. Way too many freaking shortcuts in this thing. Editing kind of sloppy too. 7, having a peaceful Betazoids enroll in a war college? Really? That makes no sense, guys. I'll dive more into it here in a few minutes. Having 2 military academies on the same campus? I can't find any evidence of that globally. Maybe I'm wrong. But looking, I know there's some high schools that have shared campuses. And I also know that there's some community colleges that do, but I don't think they're rivals. And this has turned into a rival when they should be complementary. Maybe this thing merges all together at the end. Who knows? 5, focus more on romance than sci-fi and rivalries. Guys, 90201-ish, stuff like that. You guys have seen this. This is more from just not from Trekkie perspective, but this is actually, what do you want to be? Then you're going to go destroy another homeworld, number 4. That's another thing. It's like, we've seen this act before, guys. Come on. Wimpify the Klingons? Of all the proud races you're going to screw with that one. PooH-Pooh command and discipline. These are academies. This is supposed to be at their core. Modify and ignore Star Trek Canon. This is the thing that probably annoys us a lot. And then Kurtzmanizing Star Trek. Since he's been involved, I think we lost sight of the optimism. We've seen more things blowing up, more action-oriented stuff. We've seen too many comedic episodes. We'll dive a little bit into that. So, introduce a villain. Nasparaka. If the trailers look like this guy's crazy, maybe he is, maybe not, but we've not heard anything from him since episode 1 or anything about him. We've only heard about the mother disappearing. Oh, I don't get this. And he was building all this pre-trailer stuff and shows, appearing on shows talking about this. Guys, I don't get it. You get a quality actor like this? Well, maybe more. I don't know. Dueling pranking Chancelors. Oh, really? I guess you got to support your schools, I guess. But, this Chancellor of the military college says, hey, my cadets and I will continue to outflank, outmaneuver you. So that means he's supporting this, and that means the other chancellor, our chancellor on the Starfleet Academy is going to support this stuff. Wow. And then the doing pranking thing. I mean, in the last episode, the chancellor from military college, he needed help to prepare for this meal for setting up a relationship with another college in another part of the universe to do swapping back of things, and they make a whole farce of this thing, and they laugh at him in the end. I mean, how is that good Star Trek stuff? How is that even good? Good sci-fi stuff. Come on. Little pranks and jokes, yeah, but come on. Writing takes too many shortcuts. Too many freaking shortcuts. Episode 1, I'm going to tell you what, that should have been longer. It would have made us happier from a Trek perspective, from a sci-fi perspective. Sci-fi perspective wasn't bad, but you could have connected a lot better if it was longer and gave more thought to the storytelling and aligning better editing-wise to episodes that happen later. And this whole Betazoid thing in episode 2, solving this by saying, oh, our Betazoids, our young ones, want us to join the Federation, and the way we're going to do this is we're going to come and observe the colleges and academies and decide if we like that, that's going to be our basis for joining it this second. Come on. That's shortcutting things again. The pranking thing in episode 3, we kind of talked about that, right? Episode 4, blowing up a Klingon planet. You've seen this before when they retcon Kirk, I think it was earlier in 2000s, and they ended up blowing Vulcan up. Let's do something better. I know we've had where Sons of Nova and taking out planets and stuff. Do something better than this. Episode 5, I mean, you guys shortcutted this freaking thing so much. You had an opportunity to expand on Sam. Tell us more about her background. Tell us about the photonics. Stuff like that. Don't connect to the Cisco emissary thing. Come on, man. That doesn't make any sense. So here's a couple of things that kind of bother me. Classes will be held here on board beautiful San Francisco. You know, that's in the first episode, but for the third episode, but it should have been the first episode. Come on. The War College teaches us to fight battles, for the Betazoid thing. Come on. No. Betazoids are peaceful. Come on. 2 military carriers sharing the same campus. No shit, you're going to have pranks on each other, competition. Boom, boom. Okay, yeah, good. Okay, cool. You get this. Okay, guess they're going to walk their kids. I get it. But is this really the story you want to tell about pranking and everything? And you really want to show how these guys are showing how they're better than each other, but not by pranking each other? Don't get it. And then the thing about they're focused more on romance and rivalry. So, I mean, in episode 2, we see this interesting romantic relationship. Okay, I can see how it could play. It made sense in that episode because of Betazoids, blah, blah, blah. But then in the last episode, we get, Sam going, oh, yeah, with the human emotion, you really want to make love with her. Just go tell her that you want to do it with her. And every time you see her, blah, 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 you're saying this kind of stuff. Does that really matter? No, I don't think to us. Unless all you're trying to do 90210 in space, more lighthearted. And then, of course, they were asking, why would you have him do that to you, make love to you? And then, of course, we got the Klingon dancing with a member from the War College. Okay, that's interesting. But this guy, Klingon, is a player. That's the second relationship we saw with another male. Man, come on. Like I said, go destroy another freaking homeworld. So they're nomads all of a sudden. They're looking for somewhere to go. But damn, toward the end of this episode, they look like they had a huge fleet that was bigger than Battlestar Galactica's fleet that was looking for a planet. They're saying all these guys are refugees, and they're saying, well, the house leaders were on one ship. Yeah, right. I don't believe that either. You're wimpifying Klingons? Come on, guys. You don't want to wimpify Klingons. They're honorable. He looks forlorn. Here, he says, I apologize. When does a Klingon ever say, I apologize? Maybe we saw it once in Next Gen, but no. They're honorable. They take their stance. You don't wimpify them. And then, they're poo-poohing the command. I mean, there's so many things I can point to. I'm just going to say, relax, laissez-faire, no shoes, no socks on, no boots on, talking with, just casual conversations. I can see having that in a bar, but no. This is an example of poo-poohing things. And then, her relaxing. I think this is when she's talking with the other chancellor. Like, you want to be more professional, you want to be more engaged, you're not going to be back like this. Come on. Once again. Ugh. And then modifying, ignoring Star Trek canon. I will talk about this one. This Klingon. An albino Klingon. We know from Next Gen that this was a minority and they were shunned, pushed out. Discovery, they kind of brought one back, but all of a sudden this guy's got power from a couple of years, just two seasons, 3 seasons from Discovery, that this guy's actually in charge. And of course we got this Dax call out. The big problem with this is we know Dax is, the symbiotes don't last, the Turtle symbiotes, once they join, very rarely do they get past 700 years old. This is over 1,000 years old. I can see that trying to throw out the Dax thing, the symbiote thing, I kind of get that, but this is stretching canon. Come on, we got to stop stretching canon like this. And there's Kurtzmanizing. So I had to look up an AI. I just AI'd in Google. And it goes, quote, 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 the prime criticism of Alex Kurtzman's tenure as the head of Star Trek is that New Trek era abandons the optimistic utopian vision of creator Gene Roddenberry in favor of a bleak, cynical, and action-oriented style. But then he also, I'll append this with, he throws in too many comedic things that don't align with the universe of Star Trek. Don't get it. And then he does things like this. Oh, there's my producer, Tabitha. We're in the 32nd century, right? This guy looks like a wimp. Haircut's terrible. Lack of discipline we're talking about. Eyeglasses. We've seen eyeglasses on here multiple times. I thought they fixed all this stuff. So, hey, these are my top 10 list of things that Trekker fans dislike and some sci-fi fans, myself as well, dislike. I'd like to hear your thoughts and comments. Have an awesome day and give me your commentary. Thanks. But once again, thank you for helping my channel start growing and growing and growing. And I take your comments to heart. Take care. Bye.